Hello everyone, this is grade 5, module 6, lesson 20 homework. The directions state, use the graph to answer the questions. Johnny left his home at 6 a.m. and kept track of the number of kilometers he traveled at the end of each hour of his trip. He recorded the data in the line graph. So this is Johnny's bike trip. I see distance, and I'm seeing 0 to 2, so we're going up by 2 each time. So to help me out, I'm going to fill those in so I can easily read my lines when I need to. So we have some questions, and down below we have time of day, and it looks like it's going in hours. And it said he started at 6 a.m., so I'm going to write that right here. And it says, for A, how far did Johnny travel in all? And to look at this, I just want to see where the graph ends. And it ends right here, and it's right at the 20 kilometer line. So that's how far he went in all. And I can check this out because from 6 to 7, he went 4 kilometers. And then from 7 to 8, he went another 4. From 8 to 9, he went 6. And I know this because I can count up. 2, 4, 6, or I can just look at the difference between 14 and 8. Here he went 0 because at the hour he started at 14 and he stayed at 14 for a full hour, so it means he traveled 0 kilometers. He went another 4 because he went from 14 up to 18, and then from 18 to 20 is 2. So I could then add these up. 4, 8, plus 6 is 14, plus 4 is 18, plus 2 is 20. So I could do it that way too, but really just looking at where we hit at the end. And then it says, how long did it take? Well, he started at 6 o'clock, so we got 1 hour, 2 hours, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the reason why I'm stopping here at 12 p.m. is because that's where the last dot is placed on my line graph. So it took him 6 hours. And I could find that either by counting jumps or by saying he started at 6 and he went to 12. So what's the difference between those? B says Johnny took a 1 hour break to have a snack and take some pictures. What time did he stop and how do you know? So between which hours did he stop to have a snack and take some pictures? I'm going to assume it's this piece right here, the 0. So between 9 and 10. I'm going to say he stopped at 9 o'clock a.m. until 10 a.m. And for my description as to why is because on the line graph, he didn't travel any distance between 9 and 10. It implies that he stayed put. He didn't move anywhere for that hour. That's what I would use for my explanation for it. So let's go to page 2. Here we are on page 2. And I brought the graph over so we could take a peek at it in case we needed it. C says, did Johnny cover more distance before his break or after? Explain. Well, when we're looking at this graph, we can see that here's the start of his break, here's the end of it. So we're looking at this amount or this amount. And up till his break, he covered 14. After his break, he covered 4 and 2. He covered 6. So he covered more distance before his break. And I can explain that by saying he covered from 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the morning, he covered 14 kilometers. Then he took his break, and then from 10 to 12, he covered another 6 kilometers. And there's my description right there. D says, between which 2 hours did Johnny ride 4 kilometers? So for this, we're going to take a look at between which 2 hours did he ride 4 kilometers. So I got to find where he rode 4 kilometers, and it doesn't mean 0 to 4. It could be just a 4 kilometer difference. And I see one right here because this was at 4, this was 8. So that's 4. So between 7 and 8. And then I see another one right here. That's 4 because we're going from 14 to 18. And that's 10 to 11. And he did start at 6 a.m. He left, and his first point was right here at 7 a.m. So really, 6 to 7 might be considered a 4 kilometer because that's where our first point is, and we know he started at his house, which we're assuming is 0. So there were actually 3 different times between hours where he traveled 4. And it didn't say that there were 2 of them, like there's 1, so that's 2. It means between which 2 hours, 7 a.m. and 8 a.m., 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. So for E, it says, during which hour did Johnny ride the fastest? So I'm looking, the way that I want to determine this is look at each hour and find out where he traveled the furthest distance. And I can see it's between 8 and 9, and I'll write that down, between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. because he traveled 6 kilometers. And there's no other place where he traveled 6 kilometers. He traveled at most 4. So 6 kilometers is telling me that that's the fastest he rode because he covered the most distance in 1 hour. So that would be my explanation. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and good luck on the rest of your homework.